The Kyler Murray saga might be over. For now, I feel like it'd be over for the next 2 or 3 weeks because historically we've seen this happen with the Arizona Cardinals, and I think this is the beginning of something that could be drastic in the future. Now, before we get to the content, we are almost at 500,000 subscribers. Once we hit 500,000 subscribers, I'm giving away a subscriber that turns on our notifications on this channel, $500. In addition to that, we're giving away an Instagram follower, $500 as well. And once I conclude the 500K sub giveaway, guys, I'm gonna start doing smaller giveaways and announcing the winner at the end of the content. Now that we get all that out of the way, break! I think we could all agree on one thing, and that's that traditional banks stink. They charge $35 on overdraft fees. They charge you fees for having a checking and a savings account. They charge you maintenance fees. They don't give cash back on debit card purchases. Their apps are slow and clunky and hard to use. And they send you alerts in the mail. I mean, it's 2022. Why are you doing that? Which is why I recommend Albert. Albert is completely different from any bank account that you've ever used. It's easy to sign up, and my favorite part of the app is it helps you save money automatically. Instead of just opening a traditional savings account and hoping that you remember to put money into it, Albert looks at your income and expenses and sees the money that you could save. Then they'll automatically move some of your money into your savings account, sometimes as small as a few dollars at a time. They give 5 to 20% cash back on places like McDonald's, Walmart, and Starbucks, and they never charge you any overdraft fees. Instead, they'll spot you up to $250 whenever you need it. You could get paid up to 2 days sooner, and they don't charge any maintenance fees. My favorite part about the app is Albert has a team of experts that they call geniuses that'll look at your situation and help make you a financial plan and answer any questions that you have. And now when you go to albert.com/microphone and connect a checking account and a qualifying direct deposit, you'll get $150. All you have to do is go to albert.com/microphone, download the app, open up a checking account, and connect a qualifying direct deposit, and bam! You get $150. And thank you, Albert, for today's sponsorship. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? If there's a team that I think I make way too much content on recently, it's the Arizona Cardinals. Mainly because in the beginning of the year, I was making content on smaller stuff, like Chandler Jones being mad at the Arizona Cardinals for not giving him the contract that he feels like he deserves. But as time went on, there was weirder and weirder stuff. We mentioned in the last video how there was this tense meeting between Cliff Kingsbury and Arizona Cardinals ownership, but then Ian Rappaport came out and said, no, that's a lie. Now, the most recent saga in what I think is a very bizarre turn of events is Kyler Murray scrubbing his entire Instagram feed of all things that pertains to the Arizona Cardinals, and I think we finally reached the end of it. In my last couple of videos, I brought up the fact that the Arizona Cardinals deleted all their pictures on Instagram except for 2 of them, one being Kyler Murray being drafted and the other of Kyler Murray and CeeDee Lamb at the Pro Bowl. Now, my initial theory of this was Kyler Murray went to college with CeeDee Lamb. Kyler Murray may feel indebted to CeeDee Lamb for helping him win the Heisman. Kyler Murray asked the Arizona Cardinals to draft CeeDee Lamb, but instead they drafted Isaiah Simmons. And although he does have DeAndre Hopkins and Christian Kirk and AJ Green and Rondale Moore and Zach Ertz, well, later on Zach Ertz, he could have just been upset at that, or this could have been a ploy to get a better contract. You know, something that I've realized recently is all of the frustrations for these quarterbacks tend to come out right when the Super Bowl is over. I mean, last year, the Russell Wilson saga began right when the Super Bowl ended, where he said he was frustrated by the fact that he wasn't as involved in personnel decisions for the Seattle Seahawks. The Deshaun Watson situation was like a week or 2 sooner, but then he brought up personnel decisions as well. And then Tom Brady went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, was able to cultivate a remarkable situation for himself and win a Super Bowl because, well, he was involved in personnel decisions. But I digress. This eventually turned into the Arizona Cardinals saying that they want Kyler Murray to be a little bit more mature and grow as a leader, and that he felt like a scapegoat for the Arizona Cardinals playoff loss and the Cardinals worry that Kyler Murray is self-centered and immature. Now, immature, possibly, but bear in mind, this guy's just 24 years old. And on top of that, if you ever look at Kyler Murray, whenever he makes a throw and it doesn't get completed, he'll kind of throw his hands up in a funny way, like in a very visibly frustrated way. And I guess that isn't necessarily the best body language to display if you're the face of a franchise. Mikerophone says that I do know that they're looking for Murray to take a step forward in a number of areas, and they're talking about maturity, body language on the sideline, having a bigger voice with his teammates, and leadership.
But it is pretty evident that he is their franchise guy, but it is not just about playing. And the quarterback position doesn't exist in a vacuum. I mean, we see some of the great ones. I mean, we're going to talk about Brady in a second here, and no one better in the history of the world probably at elevating his teammates and making everyone feel like they are important. I was talking to Dr. Neil Elatrash, who did Joe Burrow's surgery. He was telling me that the greatest thing he saw from Joe Burrow during rehab is that he empowered all the trainers and people working with him to think that they were so important that they had to do their absolute best to help him rehab. That is some leadership stuff. And that is a lot of what the Arizona Cardinals want to see from Kyler Murray, along with whatever else they see on the field.
Then there was this whole smear campaign that came out that we didn't cover in our last video. How Kyler Murray, during halftime, sits down at a locker room by himself, listens to music on his headphones, and shuts himself out from the rest of the team, which was an actual report. And how Kyler Murray took himself out of the Los Angeles Rams versus Arizona Cardinals Super Wildcard Weekend game, which was very frustrating for Kyler Murray because he didn't have the best showing. I mean, look at this pick six he threw, man. No wonder why he's being scapegoated. That's not a very good look. Now, I don't want to take any shots at him because this man's made remarkable throws that a quarterback his size or any quarterback in general able to make. Throws off of his back foot while leaning away like it's a fadeaway in basketball. Now, let me address those two reports. The first being that I feel like everyone thinks halftime in the NFL is a bunch of players gathering together, trying to hype each other up with a big speech from their head coach and some necessary adjustments in game plan. I think that might be what the coaches are saying to one another, or maybe the head coach might consult his quarterback on what he sees out there, but it's not necessarily one of those situations where the head coach comes and says,
all right, guys, we're gonna win this game. It's a game of inches, inch by inch.
Al Pacino style. There's not enough time to do that. With all of that in mind, here's the closing statement to the Kyler Murray situation, which, by the way, shout outs to you guys on Instagram. We were able to get the top comment, one of the top comments in this post. So Kyler Murray said, "But I play this game for the love of it. My teammates, everyone who has helped me get to this position, that believed in me, and to win championships. All of this nonsense is not what I'm about. Never has been, never will be. Anyone who has ever stepped between those lines with me knows how hard I will go. Love me or hate me, I'm going to continue to grow and get better." Look, I'm really happy he said this because I understand he's being scapegoated. I understand he didn't have a great showing, but in his defense, man, this guy doesn't necessarily have the greatest offensive line. He's running like a maniac back there, and he's significantly smaller than the average NFL quarterback. One tackle where he's leaning the wrong way could potentially end his career. So he may have felt a little overwhelmed by being chased by Leonard Floyd, Aaron Donald, and Von Miller in that Super Wildcard Weekend game, and he might have been frustrated by that fact. I mean, no one ever talks about the LA Rams pass rush enough. I mean, when the Cincinnati Bengals lost to the LA Rams in the Super Bowl, no one brought up the fact that freaking Von Miller and Aaron Donald are going up against an offensive line that should really be playing junior varsity football. And I think in this instance, I really applaud Kyler Murray because there's a very unique opportunity for success. I think he still has a window of opportunity next year to win a Super Bowl. He still has a remarkable supporting cast around him. Zach Ertz, I don't know if AJ Green's going to come back. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. James Conner, Chase Edmonds, DeAndre Hopkins, Cliff Kingsbury's absolutely in love with this man and has put him in a situation to get better year after year after year. The only thing that I think he needs to work on is maybe handle your adversity just a little bit better. But here's the thing, man, you got to be placed in these situations, these difficult moments, in order to be able to handle that adversity. That's what makes you stronger. So maybe he did this to be passive aggressive towards his team, to convey that he's not really happy with his team. But I said this once, I'm not going to say this again. There is no freaking way that the Arizona Cardinals are trading Kyler Murray anywhere. He's staying on the Arizona Cardinals, barring a very dysfunctional season where he takes a dramatic step back, Carson Wentz style. Hopefully this is the last video I make on this man. This is our second video of the day, so make sure you check out our other one if you enjoyed. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.